got some mail today. Today is Wednesday, August 23rd. So we're doing another CSN with Captain Sergei. So I got the big envelope from the bond company, right? So remember when I had to go and find a notary and notarize like a contract for the insurance, $75,000. And so they filed it on my behalf. That's when my authority as broker became active. And then they have to send me a countersigned original. Basically, it's the same that I mailed them, and they sign it and they mailed it back. So it's basically now if somebody wants proof of my bond, this is it. This is like a valid agreement between the insurance company and myself. And the second piece was this little package. Like I love Vistaprint, so I had these made for me as a photographer, right? And then I realized that, wait a second, I don't have any business cards. Love this knife. I don't have any business cards as a broker. And so I went to back to Vistaprint. Interesting. What? How many did they order? I thought I ordered, like, look at this one. I think here I ordered 200, and here, okay, there's a tape in here, another tape over here. Okay. Oh yeah. So, and these ones, so basically I use the same design, but I use the heavy paper, so nothing on the back. But you see, I did this modern design. Like they all allow you to do this, and so if anybody is looking for a freight broker, specifically if you're a shipper, okay? So now I have these cool. I like these. They look pretty good, but I thought I ordered more. I don't know what happened. I think this is probably 100 only. But heavy equipment logistics, no mistakes. Sergei Dratchev, freight broker, open deck freight. So my phone number, my email, perfect. So now I can go and see some people if I want to make some money. Now, have you heard the news about that crazy Prigozhin guy in Russia? I knew it would happen like that. So now they're talking on all channels about the plane going down, and he was on the list of passengers. Huh. So I knew that Putin has a very long memory. If you say something he doesn't like, sooner or later something bad might happen, you know. And in other news, today is Wednesday, so I did a couple of quotes. One of them was for this. I'm gonna post a picture here somewhere. A couple of quotes I was working on were for this used crusher or vertical shear machine that used at scrap metal yards. And I asked my client, like, so what's going on? Did your customer like my number? And she says, haven't heard from him. And then I did a search online, and I found that machine because I saw the picture she sent me, right? And I found that machine. Turns out it's an auction. So this guy has not bought yet the machine, and the auction is happening the day after tomorrow, Friday. And I have a couple of interested carriers, and I keep studying my TMS, Transportation Management software online, so that I'm ready to create my first order. And so if this gentleman or whoever it is, if they buy this machine, I hope I'll get a chance to move it. So it's coming from US to Canada. 1 second, that's my oven. I'm baking some salmon. Okay, so the salmon is in the oven. We're doing good. And so yeah, I really want to move this machine, so this would require 7 axles if it's a light trailer, or maybe 8 axles if it's a heavier trailer. And one thing, since I'm waiting for customers to give me some freight, one thing I've been doing is trying to market myself as much as possible. Of course, online, no cold calling. I don't believe in cold calling. And those few loads I moved when I was an agent for this large logistics company, I realized that all the leads I received, they came from YouTube, right? People that watch me. And even now, the customer that gave me this, asked me for a quote on this vertical shear machine. They called me or emailed me, and I said, how did you find me? They said YouTube. And so that's why YouTube is my primary way of marketing myself. That's why I have my phone number, my email address everywhere. So it's easy for people to find me, right? Because that's on YouTube, that can be a problem, right? Because you cannot use that email link, like if you go into About Me section on the YouTube channel, and there's an email link, but that link only works if you are on a computer. If you're on a cell phone, it's not going to work. And so before, I remember quite often people would have issue or trouble. Let's say somebody has a piece of freight, that needs an RGN trailer, and they cannot find my email address, right? And then the number 2, I would say, in importance after YouTube for me is my Google basic web page that I created with, on like Google Maps, right? And so what I do there is I post like news updates, right? Like I find some interesting piece of news related to freight or trucking. I do a screenshot of the picture and I post some news. Like today I posted, today I didn't do anything on that one. But today I used my mode number 3, which is Instagram. Right? Before I used to bother with Twitter, but people that used to post, news and updates on Twitter now all moved to Instagram, right? Like for example, if I search for events, let's say I want to go and do some photography, in Calgary, and I search for events, what to do in Calgary this weekend, and each time when I see the results on Google, it's not Twitter, it's all Instagram. So people just take a picture and then they do a text. And of course, what's cool about Instagram is that there's no limit how much you can type, And so I opened my other, like I have one Instagram for photography, and you'll find links over here. And then I have I opened another Instagram, and my username is, SD T3N0V2. So basically my initials plus my zip code. And over there, that's what I do. I post kind of like news and updates, just to create some, tractions so that I get noticed. And I think today I found an interesting story online about freight volumes, where they compare truck freight with rail freight and air freight and ocean freight. And there's some interesting numbers. So I did a screenshot of the image and put it on my Instagram. And so those are the 3 major ways I market myself: YouTube, Google business site, and Instagram. And I think that should work for anyone who wants to be a broker or maybe a trucker. You just get active. Like I said, Twitter is dead. I tried LinkedIn when I was working as agent at that big logistics company. It's totally stupid, People, can I be your friend? Can I be about, among your contacts? But then nothing happens, You just read stupid pieces of news, totally unrelated. Nobody ever contacted me. I spent so much time on that LinkedIn. It's not funny. Never liked that website. So again, today, that's what's important. Google, because everybody uses Google to search for something, like trucking Alberta or freight broker Alberta, right? So you want to be active on Google and have a business site, and then Instagram, because that's what people use nowadays. And in my case, YouTube, right? Because I still have subscribers and I have so many videos on my channel. And speaking about marketing, just when I tried, remember I had my phone number on the side of my truck, just trying to, attract attention. And so now I have my phone number, my email address on my main page, and I'm probably gonna post my business card at the top, so that it's easy for people to contact me. But I find that quite often, when you make your phone number public, all you get is some unwanted, unsolicited, communication. Like when I had my phone number on the side of the truck on the Kenworth, people were calling me to complain about something, like, oh, I don't like your video on YouTube, or hey, basically no shippers. Back when I was a trucker, like nobody used that phone number to give me some freight or hire me as a trucker. It was all pretty much like BS phone calls. But I hope this will be, people will realize that, I'm not here to play games. But again, yesterday my phone rings and I see it's a phone number from, I think it was from Canada somewhere. But I don't know the number, I don't know the guy, and he starts talking to me, even without saying his name. Hi, and like I said, okay, who is this? And he says, okay, I'm so and so. But before, for like 5 minutes, he was just talking to me, asking questions. I'm like, basically, wait, who are you? Like, where did you get this number? Oh, I got it from your YouTube channel. I'm a subscriber, been watching your videos. And so it turns out this guy represents a trucking company, and they're thinking about buying an RGN trailer. And now he says they have like step deck, flatbed. And so I was able to give him lots of information, because he was asking me, what kind of a setup would work, how many axles, what would be a good trailer. So I give him some tips. And then we exchanged email addresses. So I added his company email address to my carrier database. I think I have like about 45, 50 carriers. That's where, when I have a load, that's where I usually, my first step is I don't go to a load board. I go and I do like a mailing, like email, campaign, and I send out that load to all the carriers in my database. I don't have that many yet, but I have like 45, whatever, right? And so that's who gets the first pick at giving me a quote. Then if I don't hear from these guys, then I go to a load board. And so I added this gentleman to my database, and then he was asking about permits, So I sent him. When I was a trucker, I created a couple of very useful spreadsheets showing how much weight you can get, let's say, on a tandem and tridem and quad, on a trailer versus 3+1 or 2+2. And I think I left out a couple of states, but most of US, and I found those numbers. And so I have a couple of very useful spreadsheets that I still keep on my computer because they help me in which, let's say if I know the origin and destination and which states the truck will pass through, I can see how many axles will work, right? Because in some states, like New York, you have a quad RGN, you can get 93,000 pounds on the back, right? But you go to Kansas with 4 axles on the trailer, all they give you is like 65,000. So you definitely need a booster or a stinger if you go down south, right? And so those are very interesting numbers. So I send them to this gentleman for free. So if somebody wants them, send me some money, okay? Need to support myself while I'm waiting for freight. I'll post my PayPal link. So if anybody's interested in these spreadsheets, donations are highly appreciated. And I'll also send you a link to a permit, like it's a permit manual that says which states give you how much, under a permit per axle, like a steer axle or tandem or tridem or stuff like that. Very useful if you're a trucker or even if you're a shipper and you want to know how many axles your shipment will require, So, but anyway, so those are my news. Super happy about these fancy business cards, but again, I should have ordered more. Thanks for watching. Bye.